Hello, I'm Monica Price and welcome to Cuppa TV. On today's show, I'm joined by John Rushton, broadcaster and emotions expert, known as the Life Doctor. He joins us today to talk about emotions in the young. Also joining me is Lawrence Barton, Birmingham business owner and director of Birmingham Pride, who's coming to tell us today about one of Birmingham's largest events. My first guest is emotions expert John Rushton, who is joining us today to talk about emotions in the young. Hello John, welcome back to Cuppa TV.
Good morning Monica, lovely to be here.
Thank you, lovely to see you. So John, this is an important subject, isn't it? Emotions in the young. It's been in a lot of press, again it's getting a lot of news at the moment. Yes. Is it something that you've seen an increase in?
I have actually, I've seen that in a number of areas of young people becoming sort of unsettled in how they think and what is expected of them, what they want to do themselves, and in fact something to do with the world itself. You know, what's happening, where am I, what am I supposed to do? There are lots of rules and regulations. You've got to go to school, you've got to do this, you've got to get a job. Fine, we all had to do that, we've had to do that, but in the process of that there's a thing called life, and some of them are really getting upset about the quality of their life. Some people sail through life because it just is the way it happens to be, but that doesn't mean life is not going to upset them later on down the line, because there's no rhyme or reason why things happen. But a lot of the young people, particularly when they're in school and colleges, are getting really upset as to what is required of them.
Do you think it's because there's a lot of pressure on the young now to achieve, to do certain things in their life, that perhaps they look up to peers or to celebrities or whoever it is their idol, their hero? Does that put a lot of extra pressure on them, do you think?
I think it does, because it's a very sort of vulnerable age. You're maturing, you're finding things about your body, about life. There's no rehearsal. This is the first time you're here, so you're going through it. And there's nothing they can fall back on because it's all new. And they see some people, their peers, doing exceptionally well, and maybe they're not doing quite as well themselves. Why? Why can they do it and I can't? What is happening to them and what is not happening to me? Or why am I in this situation when other people are doing this and that? Why are my parents not doing this and that? Why is society doing this and that? And you see on the news, oh, the schools are changing their system, the universities are changing their system. But, am I just a number? I'm a statistic in all that? How does it affect me? What does it mean about me? What is expected of me? And have I got any right of my own to do what I want to do? Where is the me in all this? Where do I come into this? I have thoughts and feelings pertaining to something which nobody else is actually looking at. I have emotions and feelings which I don't tell my parents, and if I do, I give them a watered-down version. I certainly don't tell anybody at school or the university. So who do I tell? Where do I go? What do I do? And these actually build up in their mind, and it actually becomes quite a weighty thing with them, because they're frustrated, and then they get annoyed, and then they get sharp with other people, and then they lose their focus in life, and it's a downhill helter-skelter then. What do I do? Where do I go? Are there other people like me? They don't need to form a relationship or friendship, just to know that other people exist, and that is quite a cathartic thing. It makes people feel, wow, yes, I am all right actually, I am going to come through this, but who are these people who are going to tell me that? And very few exist.
It's very interesting because we see the youth and we read about them in the papers and see them on the television, and there is this expectation, I think, of them to perform and behave in a certain way. And we're talking about under 18s here.
Yes,
but is there a particular sort of age where they're most vulnerable, would you say? I mean, teenagers is a classic sign of they're going through that teenage period.
Yes.
Parents often say that. Is that a time when perhaps their emotions are just all over the place?
I think during that time your emotions are all over the place, but I think at the same time we all mature at different levels and at different rates. And some people mature very early and they have a sort of an old head on a new body. And other people mature at a later stage, sometimes not even until their 20s, and they suddenly and everything starts for them then. And it's this expectation, ooh, you'd have thought by now they would have. Why? This is all about you, it's not about me. And a lot of people put their expectation, well, I think they would have done this, they should have done that. I'm a bit worried about them because of. Why? Have you asked them? Well, no, but you know, I think because so-and-so's children, they're doing this and this. And this is all this sort of subliminal pressure. Where does it come from? If you can't say anything positive, don't say anything. If there's something you need to ask your children or ask anybody, if you're in education or university, ask them, is there anything you want to say? If they don't want to say it because they don't trust you, not because they don't trust you as a person, but because of the system, you know, oh, it's going to be recorded, it'll be down on my file, so I'm not going to say anything. And this is the whole problem. You know, if I say anything and open my heart, will I be jeopardized because of that? Will I be put down because of that? So you bottle it up, and there it is, the pressure's building up, it's getting larger and larger and larger, but the pressure's getting larger, but you're not. You're getting more tight, more introverted, more concerned. Again, you're losing your focus. And this is something which we really need to get over and get out, because once you sort of let all that steam out, so you feel better, you can see more vividly, you can see solutions and not problems, because whilst you're actually looking at the problems, you don't see the solutions. And that's a big sort of blanket, it's a smoke screen in front of you all the time. And it really sort of bottles things up and makes you feel like you're such a loner, sort of lonesome, you know, you're an isolated incident, and what can I do?
I think as any of the viewers that are watching who've got children, you know, perhaps teenagers or older, will probably be maybe relating to some of what you say. And as a parent, what can they do to actively, you know, encourage their child to talk to them, to, you know, to, as you've just said, to stop this bottling up period of their life? What can they do? Are there any simple things that you can do as a parent to help?
I don't think there are any simple things, and I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all answer, because it varies so much, and it depends on you as a parent. And it doesn't mean you're good or bad, it just depends on you as a parent. Excuse me. But when children actually look towards their parents and they want to say something, they think, well, my parents are really not that interested in the arts. They're not that interested in this. So I'm not really sure if I tell them about this, that they would actually grasp it. They may say yes, but do they mean yes, or are they just being kind? You know, they want some kind of honest solution. They want somebody to say, when they say yes, to understand what they're saying, to make it feel, wow, yes, I'm understood. Somebody does understand me. And so a lot of children don't tell their parents because they're frightened of what they may get in return, or they may actually get something which is quite the opposite. Oh, you don't want to do that, that's a bad place to go. No, you stick to what you're doing. That's the last thing they want to do. They are experts at themselves. They may have some kind of sort of aptitude within themselves that the parents know nothing of. And, well, I've never seen that before. When did that come about? You've never mentioned this. Well, is there any reason why I should have done, when you get this kind of an answer? And so it's a very difficult thing. But if you are a parent, you can say, listen, if there's something you want to do, research it on the internet. There are lots of organisations you can talk to anonymously, people you can go and see, lots of things out there. Organisations, like-minded people, research it yourself. Find some like-minded people to get an empathy with, get some synergy with it all, because that will give you a degree of comfort. At least you can say, oh, wow, I met somebody and they're just like me. In fact, they're even worse. You know, it's something that makes you feel better, because I'm not alone at last.
It is that empathy, isn't it? It's having sympathy and empathy.
Yes, it is.
And as a parent, I think that you've just said, you know, it's important that you let your children really be themselves.
Yes, that is very important. Let your children be whoever they are. They are their own entity. They're not an expectation of yours. They are not something which a product of what you want them to be. It's already really well and good saying, I'd like my children to be this and this and this, because it's okay, that's done in the nicest possible way. But at the end of the day, the best thing you could want your children to be is happy. You could ask for nothing more than your children than that they are happy. Not that they are something or an extension of what you would like them to do, so you can tell your friends, oh, my child's this and this and this. Forget that. Are they happy? Make sure they're happy. If they're not happy, say, listen, if you can't talk to us or you can't talk to me, talk to somebody else. Do something. Do something for yourself. You know, I understand if you can't talk to us. I'm not feeling upset or slighted that you can't. I felt the same way with my parents, so I can't sort of say don't for you, but I do understand. But don't be unhappy because I'm unhappy if you're unhappy. You know, do something and encourage them to sort of get it out of their system. They may get a lot of doors slammed in their face, but the fact is, at the end of the day, when they find something, they'll be so pleased that they'll have accomplished something, and that is a very positive step.
It's almost as though you've got to take a step back as a parent, almost up to the age of 18 probably and
Yes,
over. As a
yes.
parent, you're always a parent, aren't you? But it's as though you've got to take a step back, would you say, and just really let them come to you with their problems and
Yes.
go through, negotiate that path together. Would that be the best sort of solution or help?
Yes.
I would say, rather than solution.
Yes, I mean, in your sort of early teens, there are lots of relationship problems. Sexuality comes to the fore.
Yes, well, it's again another fascinating subject. Thank you so much, John, for joining us
pleasure.
today. We're going to take a quick break now. So we'll join us again after the break. Hello and welcome back to Cuppa TV. Joining me now is Lawrence Barton, Director of Birmingham Pride. Hello Lawrence, welcome to Cuppa TV.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
So Lawrence, tell us about Birmingham Pride and how it first all began.
It started back in 1997, so we're in our 18th year, and it was then a small festival in the back streets of the gay quarter in Birmingham, and it's evolved into this huge music festival, which I'm incredibly proud of.
I mean, it seems to get bigger and bigger every year.
Well, it's now got tens of thousands of people coming to it, and I'm really proud of the fact that it's become inclusive. So families, all different types of people come. It's no longer exclusively gay, but we do celebrate, and it's important that we still have Pride.
Yes, and I mean, is it one of the largest in the country?
It's, if not the largest, it's one of the largest, yes. Closely followed by Brighton and Manchester, so yes.
And you've got a fantastic lineup this year.
Amazing lineup.
Yes, so you've got...
the best ever.
Who have you got? Well, I know you've got Jimmy Somerville.
We have.
Yes, and who else have we got?
Oh, we've got Jess Glynn, Grammy Award winning Jess Glynn.
Fantastic.
We've got Heather Small.
From the M People.
MP,
yes, that's it.
And Fuse ODG, a rap artist.
Yes.
Who else have we got?
Boney M.
Oh,
Is
yes.
it Boney M? Have you got Boney M?
We
yes.
certainly have.
So again, a real, varied mixture in lineup, and I think that's important for your people that are coming. Do you find that important as well? Is that how you do your lineup?
Well, it's a diverse lineup. So what we aim to do is to cater for younger people that would buy, records that, for example, Jess Glynn has released, and then we've got what we describe as retro artists. So the older ones that I know.
We don't know them really. We just pretend that we do. Yes, that's it. But again, that is important, though, isn't it? You have that sort of cross section of people. So you, as you said, because Pride now is more readily available, if you like, to families, to all sorts of people. It's not just for people that are gay. So is that something, again, that you strive to sort of trying to achieve every year?
It's since I took it over in 2009, one of the priorities for me was to make it inclusive. It was to attract families and to make it so that the whole community and the city could come together and celebrate. That's what I wanted to achieve, and I think that's happening. And somebody put on my Facebook last night, it's really spectacular and it's wonderful, the work that you're doing. But I says to them, actually, I'll probably do the least. It's the volunteers and all the people from the community that make it really special.
Because it isn't just about the music, is it? There is an underlying political message for you there, isn't there, to get through?
Absolutely.
So tell us about that, Lawrence.
It's a strong political message. Birmingham Pride is proud of the fact that it's important that we convey a social message. It's about freedom and together that we're united. And I think that that's really important, even today, when you consider in 90 countries across the world, it's illegal to be gay. You can still be killed for being gay across the world today. So in our city, in our wonderful city, I think it's important that people come together and celebrate, but that message is still very much there and very important to us.
And it's 30 years, in fact, isn't it? 30 years since the tell us about that. There's a film called Pride that won the BAFTA.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yes, we've chosen to celebrate the anniversary
Yes.
of the film Pride, which saw the LGBT community support the miners 30 years ago. And we've actually got people that were depicted in the film actually coming to lead our parade in the city.
Oh, how wonderful.
So that's wonderful for us. And it sends out a very poignant and social, political and a humanitarian message. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, that's great. And I mean, how are the sales going? Are you up on last year, or are you about the same? How's it going?
We're 26% up on last year.
Oh, that's a happy man.
And when you consider that the last 6 years, it's gone in one direction. It's gone upwards. So we just want a bit of sunshine this year, just
yes.
for 1 year, please.
Yes, yes. Can't guarantee that in the West Midlands, but we'll try. And you've got other businesses as well.
Yes.
So you're a very busy man, Lawrence. So
Yes.
again, but your businesses have always been in Birmingham.
Well,
but you had
yes.
one before. Have you been in another place apart from this lovely city of Birmingham?
I lived in Manchester when I studied. I studied music and I play the piano.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, we should have had you tinkling over here, yes.
But then my mother set up our parent company, GB Training, which this year celebrates its 20th birthday.
Oh, and then tell us about that. What do they
It's
do?
a training company and it delivers apprenticeships, predominantly in the West Midlands, but also across the UK. Recently Ofsted inspected and graded good. Just short of outstanding. So I'm very proud of that. And then the other companies have evolved really, but I don't like talking too much about myself.
No, it's about other things. But
Yeah.
but you're a businessman. You're a successful businessman here in Birmingham. Is it important? Will you remain in Birmingham?
Oh yes, I love Birmingham. I'm proud and I love our city. I don't think it shines enough just yet. You know, Manchester gets talked about in a very fond way, and I think that we've got a very unique city, and I want it to shine. So, yes, I won't be going anywhere too soon.
Why is it, do you think, that people, just don't see Birmingham as perhaps a city to visit or a place to sort of set up a business?
I think it's a perception issue, and just seeing how Pride has grown and evolved, where you see tens of thousands of people coming to the city, and the economic impact is very, very significant. It's probably between 20 and 30 million over that weekend. So,
That's a lot.
it
That's a lot of
feels
people.
spectacular when you see people celebrating and having a good time, as long as it's safe and there's no problem. Safety is of paramount importance to me. But the city lights up and you think, well, let's celebrate, let's talk about it, let's get it out there. I don't think it gets enough public recognition.
Because it is, you say, it's one of the largest Pride events in the country, and people come from all over the world, don't they, to come to Birmingham Pride?
Absolutely.
And what's the feedback been? Do anybody get in contact with you perhaps and tell you afterwards? Because people are always happy to complain, aren't they? But do they actually, come to you and say, it's been wonderful, great experience?
There's no hiding really from social media, so people will be very vocal, whether it's good, bad or indifferent. People do express themselves, and our Facebook page alone has got 33,000 likes on it, and people do express themselves on there, and thankfully the feedback on the whole has been really outstanding. It's been really positive, and that's a testament to everybody that works so very hard to make it a success.
Yeah. And do you think there's any way we can make it better?
I think just we have to keep working at it. It's never, I don't consider anything to be ever finished. You have to keep working at it and perfecting it, and people working together, people's involvement in it and being a part of it, I think is crucial to its success and its involvement.
Because you have a lot of volunteers, you mentioned that before, Lawrence, a lot of volunteers, don't you, come and work with you for nothing. You know, they volunteer their time. Is that important to you as well?
It's immense. I appreciate it so much because people give up their time. For months they've been working in the background to do something for the city because they love it and they're passionate about their own community and they want to celebrate it. And the fact that they're doing that out of not to get paid, well, how many people do that?
Yes, yeah, it's good. And it's as I say, it's a wonderful tribute to the people in the city because it's
much
young
so.
and old are your volunteers, aren't they?
It's a real
Yes.
diverse mix. It's actually representative of our city because we do have a very, I think we have an interesting and diverse community, and that's reflected in the fact that the people that work with and on Pride are representative of that demographic, if that makes sense.
Yes.
All different types of people, gay, straight, younger, older, a real mix.
Which is important.
Very.
So it's going to be in May.
Yes.
Tell us the dates.
23rd and 24th of May.
May the 23rd, May the 24th.
Yes.
So again, it's going to be a family affair, really. You've got a great lineup.
Yes.
So expectations are high, I should imagine, for you.
They
And I
are.
imagine you're very busy at the moment, working around the clock, trying to get everything organised.
The whole team are working
Yes.
frantically to
Yeah.
make it successful. It kicks off at Victoria Square with a carnival parade. So
What time? What time
12
does it?
o'clock.
12 o'clock, okay.
So in spite of the council cuts that we've faced, unfortunately, which is about £45,000 over 2 years, we've decided to proceed with the parade and invest in it because it's visually spectacular for the city and everybody can come along there and join in.
Fantastic.
And look at the floats and all the effort that's been put in by people and celebrate.
Great, that's brilliant. Well, it's been so wonderful. Tthank you so much for coming on the show,
Thank
Laura. It's
you.
a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's it for today. I'd like to thank my guests, John and Lawrence, for joining me. Please do get in touch with us. You can email the show or join us on Facebook or Twitter at Big Centre TV. Come back and join us again soon. Until then, bye-bye.